We know the product rule, so now let's talk about the quotient rule. The quotient rule states that derivative of the quotient of two functions, in this case f of x and g of x, is equal to the bottom function g of x times the derivative of the top function minus the bottom derivative of the bottom function times the top function all over the bottom function squared. I know this might look daunting at first, but if you break it down, it's not too hard to memorize. What you're starting with is always the bottom, and you're always going up. You're starting with g of x, then you're going up to f of x. You start with g of x, then you take derivative of the top function, the f of x. Then you are subtracting, there's minus sign. So there is plus sign for the product rule. For the quotient rule, you're going to use the minus sign. And then you're also going from the bottom g of x to top f of x. But in this case, you're taking derivative of the bottom function and then taking the top function as itself. And you're dividing all of it by g of x squared. Let's review this one more time. Bottom function times the derivative of the top minus the derivative of the bottom times top all over the bottom squared. Now let's try to use this in this example. Derivative with respect to x of 7x minus 7 over x squared plus 2. That looks interesting. Let's look at which one is the bottom one. This is the bottom function. That's the function number 1. And this is the top. That's the function number 2. Let's start with the bottom. The bottom function is x squared plus 2. Then you want to multiply it to derivative of the top, 7x minus 7. Derivative is going to be 7 minus the derivative of the bottom, which is 2x, times the top, which is 7x minus 7. And you want to divide by the bottom function squared. Now let's see if we can simplify this. X squared plus 2 times 7, where the 7x squared plus 14 minus, it's minus 2x, and you're distributing minus negative 2x. So you have negative 14x squared, and you have negative and a negative, so positive 14x all over x squared plus 2 squared. And I guess you can group the like terms. 7x squared and negative 14x squared becomes negative 7x squared plus 14x plus 14 over all over x squared plus 2 squared.